Welcome back, everyone, to Saymore. This is Kim, your host for Saymore and the founder of MIemind, where everything is about energy and mind potential. We're in season 2, and season 2 is all about alternative healing modalities and stories around it. Join me today as I welcome Andreea Mironescu. I hope I got that right, Andreea. Let me tell you a little bit about, thank you. Andreea has been living in Dubai for a while, and her life literally changed. You know, when they say that we plan and then the universe or God has something even better planned for us. So her life really shifted when 4 years ago she was about to leave the UAE for good and move to New Zealand. But something happened, and this time it was something good news that came into her life that shifted her life and kept her back here for all of us, as well as opened up absolutely many opportunities for her. Professionally, Andreea is a rapid transformational therapist and the founder of Emotional Wellbeing Support UAE group in Dubai. That's a Facebook group you can join and an Instagram group, and all that information is going to be in the show notes. But for now, let's welcome Andreea to Saymore.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Kim. Thank you so much for inviting me. And it's so good.
It is a pleasure.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and share you a bit of my knowledge, and let's dig into it. It's exciting.
Yes. So take us back to that moment. As you mentioned, it was the good news that kept you back in Dubai.
So I resigned from my job. I was not being in a relationship anymore. And because I have a very good friend in New Zealand, I said, why not? I don't have too many choices. And I spoke with her and she said, why don't you come here? We can have a new start. I said, of course, sure, let's do that. There's something that happened at some point. Another job opportunity came to me. And after living here for 8 years at that time, I'm like, I'm not sure I really want to live the country because I love it. So I'm like, I'm going to take it, not knowing what's going to happen from it. I'm just, why not? Let's just do it as a change. You know, things happen for a reason. So I do believe in this a lot. So I took the opportunity and it was the best thing that I ever did because I changed my job. I loved it. And then I moved from Abu Dhabi. I was living in Abu Dhabi at that time. I moved to Dubai. And then after that, I met my now husband. We are having a very happy family. I have a beautiful 15-month-old son. And yes, it's been a very, very positive and good change for me at that time. I have to admit it, coming out of nowhere.
Exactly. And first of all, congratulations to the little one and everything that transpired. What were you thinking before all these things happened? You know, you are a therapist and I'm sure you believe in energy.
Yeah.
There must have been something that you were thinking of inviting in your life that the universe just presented to you.
I said to myself, whatever comes, I'm just going to grab it and I'm going to make the best out of it. That's what I usually do in life. And nothing happened for some time. I was already just about to, my ticket was booked, just about to leave, but I could feel deep inside of me that this is not the right time. It's like I could see something already coming to me. I was prepared for it. So whatever it was, even if I had to leave or not, I'm like, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. So this is when it happened. I literally just, I had to go to a barbecue for my director, FAP director at that time. I wasn't even sure I want to go for his birthday. And that's when the career switch changed. So it's something that I had no idea. I came from the beach, had to get myself ready very fast to go to this barbecue party. Like I didn't even know if I want to be there or not. And it was the best decision I could just take on that moment. And I think that people must believe more in this, like you said, about energies and everything. Like, take the opportunities as they come. Don't think twice. And if you ever have this glitch of, I should do that, just go ahead and do it because it might change your life. It changed my life. And I'm so, so happy and grateful for doing that now.
You know, when you're speaking, you're literally, these words, I'm hearing them in big letters. There's surrender, there's flow, there's intention. There's the most magical statement that you said that whatever comes, I'm going to take it. I'm going to see what's, what I'm led to. That is the power. I mean, most of us have been, we've grown up and been conditioned to know what you want, and that's great. We need to know what we want, but we need to be able to tune into when something is like pushing you and, guiding you into something else. And whenever you're speaking, it's like the embodiment of all of that. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
I believe in this so much. This is how I live my life, to be honest. And maybe I wasn't like this all the time, but with the course of life and all the things that I have went through, it taught me that this is the best way to do it. I don't live my life as in waiting for opportunities to knock at my door, and I just go for it. And I'm trying, if things don't work out, I'm okay with that. I make peace with it. I know other things will come through, because if something are not meant to happen, I don't even question myself why they haven't happened. I just go with the flow.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tell me a little bit about this, Andrea. Were you conditioned in this way? Were you brought up in this mindset, or this is something that, again, life invited you through either lessons or opportunities to develop this mindset?
I think because I went through a lot of situations that had made me stronger and made me understand that, put me to the tests and made me think that I am in this situation for a reason, to be able to make myself stronger mentally, physically, and to just be able to overcome whatever comes to me, like situations of fires. I've been through two very, very bad fires in my life. One was in my house when I was very young. One was at work, that I had a lot of I've been in charge of doing a lot of things by myself, and just having this, this challenges coming to me. I call them challenges. It really got me much stronger, and thinking, what, whatever comes, it's just what it is. We don't learn in life from things like challenges. They come into our life for a reason, and it really depends what we learn from them and how we get out of it. And it does make us stronger. So I can say that that's why I developed this mindset, I would call it. I wasn't always like this, but it got me to now being able to talk about it and being able to help other people with it too, because life is hard, and it's what you make out of it. Because if you put yourself down all the time, it wouldn't get me to where I am today. And that's just what it is.
Well, that's amazing. And that explains exactly why you are doing what you do, because when we walk through that path, one of the reasons, and I believe this, very strongly, is that one of the reasons we go through the challenges is that when we learn it and we get out of it, we can offer that as, solutions to others. And that truly explains, probably why you're doing the work you do. So give us a little glimpse into rapid transformational therapy. How did you choose that? Why did you choose that modality to be, your star modality, and everything about it?
Okay, so I'll take you back to where I struggled with anxiety and panic attacks since I was very, very young, maybe 15 years old. I went through a lot of difficult situations, put on medication. It was really hard for me I went to see a lot of doctors to understand what is happening for me to be able to overcome it. It got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I will wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, not being able to breathe and just be all sweaty, like tears falling from my eyes. And I'm like, something must be wrong. That's when I was put on medication by that time. I said, it's okay. But after finishing with the medication and getting myself a bit better, sometimes medication help. I don't believe in this, but I'm not saying some people might do. It's just what it is. I'm not the kind of person that goes through this. I believe that there are other ways that we can work with our mind to get us better. And after this, panic attacks and traumas and other things, I had a miscarriage that really put me down a lot, like having everything from the back. I don't know, people who struggle with anxiety, this will never go away. You still have it in you. And if you have situations in your life that are very hard, everything that was in the past will come in, it will make it even worse. So when I had miscarriage, put me into a kind of depression state where I would not even be able to get out of bed. Like I wouldn't find any motivation for me to be able to wake up and live my life normally as any person would do. And that's when I found out about rapid transformational therapy, I had a session with now my very good friend. She's also my mentor. I still learn from her, and we exchange experiences all the time. We had a session, and after this session, she said, now your mind will tell you exactly what you want to do moving forward. You're already feeling much better, and I already was feeling much better. So on my way home in the taxi, I literally just got this idea. I want to find out more about the therapy and about marrissapeer. Marrissapeer is the founder of rapid transformational therapy. I was Googling about her, and I'm like, I found out that you can train to be a rapid transformational therapist. I enrolled with the school, and I think in less than a week, I had an interview with them. They called me, they asked me a few questions, and I enrolled to do the course because this has helped me tremendously. And the way that it did, I want to be able to help other people too. I focus on what I struggle with: mental health, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, traumas. I know that this has made a change. Rapid transformational therapy, it's a therapy that involves NLP, CBT, psychology, and all these techniques that take you straight to the root cause of why we have the issue, removing your limiting beliefs and put new powerful ones in the session from the first session that we have. So, which I did too. I found this absolutely amazing. Like being able to sort out anxiety from a session, like give you an understanding why you're holding on to these memories from the past, like accessing your subconscious mind through hypnosis. But when I say hypnosis, I mean just very relaxed state, and just going to that box of memories that you have. I find this it's a rapid therapy that does amazing results and very, very fast, unlike other traditional ones where we would go and talk about what is the issue, what's the problem over and over again. This will give you an understanding on the spot. It's like I'm the doctor taking the wound and just make it better.
Yeah, and what I love about rapid transformation, and again, it does come down to shifting the energy, then putting in the right plugins into the mind. So the mind has a new habit installed, and then your body just follows.
Yes, yes, and also there's so many techniques that Marissa has created in her more than 30 years of experience, like cell command therapy, where you command your cell's body to go back to their original DNA, and a healing vortex, like trying to heal like a lot of issues that you have, symptoms and all these things, and all come down to the mind and how your mind works and the power of your thoughts. And I have a very nice exercise for us to do just to show you how powerful our mind is. When you're ready, let me know. I think this is gonna be nice.
Let's dive into it.
Yeah. Okay, so I want you to picture that as if you're eating. Just put your hand in front of your mouth, close your eyes, and just imagine you have a very big juicy lemon, and you're just feeling the smell of that lemon. And then with your eyes closed, just imagining you're biting from that juicy lemon. You're just biting from it. That amazing taste, the juiciness that it comes into your mind right now. And open your eyes. Hands up if you have saliva in your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, you might think there was no lemon. Yes, there was a lemon. You told your mind you were having a lemon in front of you. That's how powerful our mind is. Like, it believes everything we tell it to. So why not tell it better things? Why do we sometimes choose the path of telling it negativity and all these bad things that rule our life? Because it all comes down to the things that we say to ourselves and the pictures we make in our minds. It's just two very important things. That's how our mind works. So we can do everything we want with our mind. That's what I learned from Marissa, and I love it. It's amazing.
I agree. You know, Andrea, when I was probably in school, 13, 14, that's when I'd done something as a similar practice of training the mind. It was silver mind control. And in the book, he did something similar where he says, think that you have an apple and then you're biting the apple, and then there's the grain, there's the juice. And I used to not eat apples back then, but I could still feel the grainy, the juice, just out of the suggestion of what I was reading.
Absolutely.
And something that you've, asked us to practice, people who are watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, it's so easy to understand that, man, your mind is so brilliant, so brilliant, so brilliant, that if we literally walk through it every day and say you're healing this aspect, you're, you know, recovering from trauma, or you want to visualize something, it's going to happen. The mind will find ways to shift the body into making it happen, right?
Yeah, I could not agree with you more, Kim. You're so right with whatever you are saying now, because it's so true. And the power we have over our thoughts, it's amazing. I wish more people will understand this and they will not let their life be ruled by negativity, whatever we hear, whatever we see, because we have been through very hard past years.
Yeah.
And the burnout that people have from the pandemic, post-pandemic, at work, and it's just been hard. It's hard. But if we learn how to work with our mind on a daily basis, and the
Yes.
motivation that we can have, you know, from when you wake up, and see beauty and gratitude in the small things as well. And that's why I also say to my clients, acknowledge the small steps that you have from the session that we have, until you'll be able to see the big one at the end. That's how you'll see it and acknowledge it and be so happy with it.
Andrea, thank you for all of that. I want to move into the specifics of the therapy that you offer, right? You spoke that you work specifically with people suffering from anxiety attacks, panic attacks, traumas. How does one, let's take a step back and say, how does one recognize if they're going through that? They've not yet been, you know, diagnosed, but how does one recognize that, hey, I'm going towards a state that could be an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or this is the trauma reaction? Give us a little bit of the signs and symptoms.
Okay, first of all, you are becoming very negative. Your life is just, everything you see, it's negative. At the end of the night, when you go to bed, that's when you start to get a lot of negative thoughts coming into your mind, and you feel like your heart is beating faster, not being able to breathe properly. And that's when you start to get a start of a panic attack. That's how it. Sometimes we can get different symptoms, like pins and needles in your hands, or during out the day. Let's say you're in an elevator and you feel a bit claustrophobic. Those are anxiety attacks that can turn into panic attacks, and from this can turn into, of course, if you have a very, let's say you're having this from nothing, like you don't have any like bad experiences that you are going through, or no bad news that you have. Imagine if you have a bad news, like I had a miscarriage, it puts you to literally a depressed state, because you already are having those symptoms. So if you don't treat them in time, they'll get even worse. So you need to make sure you acknowledge the small ones that they come to you, and the negative thoughts is one of it. And also it comes with the symptoms that I told you, just a few of them, that these are some of it. And I also want to say, I focus, because it's my passion and I went through it, that I'm able to understand and work with my clients better. But rapid transformational therapy works with phobias. It works with losing weight, stop smoking, everything that you can imagine that you might have an issue. I will be able to assist my clients, but because I'm so passionate and I say I find my niche is mostly mental health. But with that being said, I can also deal with other issues.
Well, that's wonderful. Wonderful to know the signs, because I think very, very often people miss the signs, saying, oh, I was just worried. Oh, you triggered me. Oh, I had a bad day. We don't realize, or we don't realize it within our friends and family, because we don't want to think the worst. Nobody wants, we'll think the worst for ourselves or life, but we don't want to look at someone and say, oh my God, if you're about to dip into a really low state. So another question in line with the same, symptoms is, how does one recognize this in their friends if they're not talking?
If they are not talking, what exactly is, I don't understand.
So you said the biggest sign is that when one recognizes in themselves that they're negative, and when they go to bed, there's this, overplay of negativity. But say I'm a friend of yours and I'm very quiet in front of you.
All right.
I'm not talking negative. I'm feeling all that fear and anxiety within me. As a friend, as a colleague, as a family member, what would you advise people as, these are telltale signs that something is a little off?
Mannerisms and the person's attitude. When you're saying things, the reaction towards what you are saying, if they will answer back or not, they're very close inside of them. You can tell there's something wrong with that person. Like it's just the way that you act in the society overall, like to a colleague, or just bursts of anger out of nowhere. That can also be a sign of traumas from the past that we have no idea, triggers that we get, and we just flip, and we would know what it comes from. It comes from having issues. Your inner child is hurt.
Unhealed.
Yeah, exactly. That you're still holding on to them.
Well, that's beautiful. Everyone listening, I think that is such, that's the information right there, that either you notice this as a pattern within yourself, or people around you, they don't respond to conversations. They suddenly have, you know, this lapse of memory.
They close inside in their own bubble. But the worst part is if they do this, those are the ones we should be able to want to help, because they are going through a lot.
Absolutely. Having said that, Andrea, would you like to share, you know, some testimonials, some beautiful stories of how RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy, has helped the clients you've worked with?
Sure. I had a girl that had a skin issue, a rash, and it went back to some unresolved situation she had in her family, and she was holding on to this pain, and the pain created the symptom, a skin rash in her body. We went back to why, asking the subconscious mind why she had the skin rash. She had some discussions with whoever has made her upset. They made peace. She let it out, all the anger or the unsettlements that they have had at that time. And then after that, she started to feel better. The skin rash was going away gradually, but it was going away. It wasn't as itchy as it was before. I can tell you about myself. I had suffered with a lot of sinus pain. That we can get physical conditions and symptoms from the problems that we have. Our body will, the feelings that we don't let out will cause other organs inside to weep. So it's best to cry. I would suggest cry and let it out,
I love what you just said, that when you don't let the feelings out, that energy and emotional, you know, stuck energy is going and make your organs cry and weep.
Yes, exactly. And it does. I experience it myself. I usually don't cry. I hold it. That's why I come up with these symptoms and with my sinus and everything else. So, and also I can say to my clients, like feelings of anger or I don't know, whatever, you know, you would let out because you're holding on to so much. And obviously other persons that I've helped that, again, they were going through a lot of situations from when they were young, in their childhood, with their family, or even if with their partners. I'm dealing also with people that are having money blocks or imposter syndrome, entrepreneurs, that they cannot charge as much for their services as they should because they are having imposter syndrome. I've held an amazing photographer that she's doing an amazing work. She's absolutely amazing. And her pictures are so beautiful, but she's been put down by somebody in the past, making her feel and think at that time that she's not good enough. And she was holding on to the belief, you know, it's not okay. But once you get the understanding that that has happened, then you can, you know what, you know why you were holding on to that. And after that, you just switch, and then the results are coming. Your mind has been cleared by the negative.
Because the subconscious is holding the memories and then it's doing its own stuff with that memory. It's not taking your permission that, hey, do you want to clear this? Do you want to sort this out? It's saying, no, this hurts you. We will avoid hurting you. So the opposite of overprotection is always sabotage.
That's why I love this so much, because it helps you to go straight to the root cause of why you are holding on to what is happening to you. And even if we don't find it out from the first, let's say you're dealing with like a lot of struggle and we take it one by one, let's take it from the start, because I also do packages with people, and let's take it from the start, empower you, and from that see how it goes, and then we'll move forward. I also do coaching, mentoring, give him some exercises, give my clients some exercises throughout the time we work together, just whatever helps them. And I'm learning about other things at the moment, doing master classes about nervous system and everything else, trying to bring more in my therapy as much as I can to help my clients as we go.
That's beautiful, Andrea. That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
I completely resonate with, with the process, because everything has a source. If that source is moved from a little bud to this tree, you can't keep plucking off the fruit. You got to go back to the source, see what the seed was, and then change it.
Yes.
Completely resonate with us. Tell us a little bit more about your Facebook and Instagram your Facebook group and
my
Instagram
Facebook group
that everyone can join and, have your support.
I absolutely love my people there. We already started to have weekly meetups. So because I was very active on social media since I think before pandemic, and I've myself joined so many groups. And on the groups that I'm on, they are not focused on helping people for mental health and with dealing with depression and any problems that they might have, but they will ask questions. And every time I saw myself with giving advices and trying to help in any way that I can. And I'm like, there must be a group out there. I checked, there must be something. No, there isn't. I'm going to make one. Why not? I want to help people with the knowledge that I have, and other people who I will get in the group, for sure they will want to help as well. The group is called Emotional Wellbeing Support for UAE. And not only, I don't think I have only people from UAE there, which I don't mind. So we help, support, advice whenever we can to whoever we can in any way possible. We have other coaches that are offering to give free sessions at the moment on healing, on parenting. We started to do weekly meetups. For now, on Thursday at 12 p.m. I had a very nice, amazing bunch of ladies last time. We stayed there for like 5 hours. We just shared different life stories, learning from each other. Here we don't judge. Everything is confidential. It's just your safe space to talk about your problems, ask advice. You're not alone. You're never alone. And that's what that group is for. So yeah, I love it.
Wonderful. It's wonderful. I mean, there's everything in there. There is like a tick in my mind, a safe space. You're not alone, because that is another situation so many people go through. They're like, oh my God, it's just happening to me. I don't know what to do. But the minute we go out, you just can learn from other people's mistakes sometimes, other people's experiences sometimes, and just pick up some inspiration. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, your story, the brilliant work you've been doing. Before you go, please share with everyone listening or watching us, where can they find you and how can they connect with you?
My Instagram is Andreea Therapy DXB. I do have an Instagram account also for Emotional Wellbeing Support UAE, the same name. And obviously my Facebook group, Emotional Wellbeing Support UAE, I would like to invite everybody, please join. Let's help each other. Let's support each other. And just have that safe community where you know you're never alone and you always have somebody there for you when you need it the most. That's what that place is for. And I have a lot of ideas for the future. I'm so looking forward to them. And thank you so much, Kim, for giving me the opportunity today to share with you a little bit from RTT, how much it helped me and how much I want to help others with it. Thank you so much.
Well, it is truly a pleasure. And we're definitely going to meet up when I'm that side of town.
Yes.
Before you go, Andrea, the podcast is called Saymore. What, according to you, do people need to be saying more about?
They should be saying more to themselves about how grateful they are of everything they have achieved in their life, and practice more gratitude every single day. Say more thank you to everything. That's what we should do. The more we are grateful, the more gratefulness will come our way. What we give, we receive.
Wonderful, wonderful. What a beautiful way to end this episode. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of you joining, all the information is in the show notes, the group, the Facebook group, the Instagram accounts, everything. Go ahead, look at your life and see, is there anything that's a repetitive pattern that's not letting you be your best? Go ahead and connect with Andreea. Until the next time, this is me signing off. Have a fantastic life, live big, live in gratitude, and say more. Bye for now.